No, I'm going to give him credit. He played well last night. That was a big-time shot made by a big-time player. But let's be realistic here. Does anybody out there think the Toronto Raptors are a better team than the Golden State Warriors? Name one player that's in the starting lineup that can go and start right now for the Golden State Warriors. I mean, Jordan Poole comes off the bench, and he's just averaging 30 a night.
Shannon, you're barking up the wrong team.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, guys that have won multiple championships, guys that have been, Draymond has been the defensive player of the year, all NBA defensive player. We know Steph goes right. So, no, first of all, nobody in the history of Toronto has been as good as Steph Curry. So that being said, but when you look at it, Jokic has a high field goal percentage, 58-50. Joel Embiid was 30, 12, and 4. Jokic was 27, 14, and 8. The highest PER, player efficiency rating. He has the highest PER ever recorded, higher than Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James. Nikola Jokic PER was higher than at any 1 year of theirs. Embiid got bailed out. First of all, he took a 3 when they only needed a 2. You don't want to talk about that. And he threw the Meadowlark lemon shot, and Doc Rivers saved him by running all the way down and calling a timeout. So let's not pretend that it was not without hiccups, because this thing could have gone terrible the other way. But they're playing without one of their best players, Scotty Barnes. And first of all, nobody thought that Toronto was going to beat them. Nobody thought. I
gave him a shot.
I thought at best case scenario, Toronto could hope to win a game. Gentleman's sweep, that would be nice. Looks like now they're probably going to get not so gentlemanly swept. A big-time vacuum Hoover. Full. But for me, Joel Embiid played great last night. But when you look at it, Skip, look at Joel Embiid's second and third best player. James Harden, who's been a, 10, 11-time All-Star, 5, 6, 7-time first team.
You said he looks done.
But hold on. So let me ask you a question. What player on the Nuggets is better than James Harden? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he's half of what he once was. What player other than Jokic on their roster is better than James Harden? Aaron Gordon? Will Barton? Morris? Bones Highland?
Tell me when it's my turn.
Dog Son? Of course not. So for me, I'm still in Jokic's corner, and I saw nothing last night to make me leave that.
Barking up the wrong tree, as usual, you are. It's eye test. You can stat me to death. Jokic is a stat machine. He just keeps spitting out stat, PER, PER, PER. I got it. All you need to do is eye test that man that we saw last night.
Against Toronto?
He is turning into the best player on the planet. You told me yesterday, day before, you said that James Harden looks washed. That's what you told me.
Even at that, okay? Even at that state.
So he's just another guy right now.
So what is, if he's washed, what is Aaron Gordon and Will Barton? They're not, nobody would trade Aaron Gordon is better than James Harden, even at this stage.
This guy is the 7-foot monster. In all my years of watching closely the National Basketball Association, covering it since 1975, I have never seen a man this big with this kind of touch. I know Jokic can throw him up to the rafters, but this guy shoots it like a guard. This guy shoots it like a shooter. This guy's mechanics are right there with Devin Booker's mechanics on touch and feel and execution of shots from distance or from the free throw line. He's about as automatic from the free throw line as Kevin Durant is. And he gets to the free throw line like crazy.
Like nobody else does.
He gets there way more than Jokic ever thought about it because he's bigger and stronger than Jokic. People fear him more than Jokic because they know Jokic is going to get his, but there's something about him. He's not a cold-blooded killer. This guy is a cold-blooded killer.
Well, Skip, I mean, you just look at Jokic and you're like, how in the hell is it possible for him to do what he's doing looking like that? I mean, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. That package should not deliver what it delivers, Skip. That's how it is. When you look at Shaq, you're like, man, Shaq about to give me this business. Shaq about to give me this work. You look at Jokic, like, what?
But he finally got in some shape this year.
Oh, yeah.
First time ever. He looks pretty good to me. And he has some endurance now, and he has the physicality he always had. And if we could see...
Oh, you talking about Joel Embiid got in shape? Oh,
yes,
yeah,
Joel finally got in shape this year.
Yes.
If we see the three that he made, there's one with 5:25 left in the fourth quarter, and it was to tie the game. And this just took my breath away because he just said, okay, I got this, and ripped it right in the face of...
Chris Achua. I think it was
Achua, yeah. And here we go again. This is a rare combination of 7 feet tall and that.
Yeah.
It's just hard. I just haven't seen it. And then furthermore, if I could see a shot that Joel made with 2:30 left in overtime, it's a 14-footer almost from the free throw line. He 360s shooting a fadeaway jumper. He looked like a 7-foot Iverson to me if we have it. Here it is. This is Joel Embiid, 7 feet tall, and he goes completely 360 and makes it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like too good. That's where on the playground you just say, well, that's just too good.
Right.
I can't do anything with that. I can't defend it. I can't stop it. If you're going to make that, you're just going to make that. So to me, Joel Embiid, off the last shot, he shot it with such conviction and confidence because from three, he truly believes he's going to make those.
Well, but Skip, if you think about it, you just showed he hit the shot earlier in Achua's face. That was basically the same spot that he hit the game winner in.
It was. And he didn't even think twice about it.
No.
He just turned and fired and got a little revenge for the luckiest shot in the history of the playoffs. The luckiest shot in the history of the playoffs. Here's the last shot again. Like there's no doubt about that. There's no hesitation. Right. There's no, wait a second, I'm too tall to shoot this. He just turned and shot it and rips it about as clean as you can.
I'm going to do, can I do you like you do me? Mm-hmm. When you say LeBron James, he didn't have time to think about it. He just turned and shot it. Because when LeBron thinks about it, that's when he messes it up.
Well, Kawhi had lots of time to think about that one. And it bounced, and it bounced again, and it bounced again, and again, and again, and again. I have never, ever seen a shot go in quite like that from that spot.
And you probably won't ever see it again either.
He's in the deepest right corner shooting right-handed. And as you know, when you're right-handed in the deep right corner, your margin for error just to get it past the edge of the backboard is virtually impossible.
Yes.
And he shot it where it caught the lip front of the rim and bounced sort of back sideways to the far side of the rim, and it bounced and it bounced and it bounced and it settled and it fell.
Well, Skip, that's when you're living right.
I guess so. That put Kawhi Leonard back on the map, right?
Skip, that shot, that championship did more for Kawhi Leonard than anything that he'll ever do in his life again. Because, look, he won the Finals MVP, and he was but going to Toronto and getting them a championship, but people forget Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. I don't care what anybody, you can't convince me they're going to beat a healthy Golden State Warriors team.
No, they're not. But Kawhi was just on a layover. Like he knew he had to go there for 1 year to get there for the rest of his career to get to L.A.
Right. But that was a team, remember how they did Giannis. They had the length. They had Kawhi, they had Siakam, they had a lot of long bodies that could bother him, and they built the wall. They were one of the first teams to build the wall. Says, nah, you ain't coming in here. If you come in here, you're going to run over us. And they got offensive foul after offensive foul after offensive foul. So when you got length, kind of like what they're doing to Kevin Durant. But Skip, I'm not taking anything away from Joel Embiid. I mean, you might not ever see a guy his size. I mean, he's almost Shaq's size, but has shooting ability like a Dirk Nowitzki or a Kevin Durant. That's a rare, rare combination. And as you mentioned it, he got in shape. He's in some condition. That's a big skill. That's a lot. That takes a lot to get a man that size in shape now. And you asking him to run up and down the court.
It actually takes even more to get that man healthy because he's got all kinds of issues that could go in any moment.
Skip, when you that tall, you're 300 plus pounds. Hell yeah, you gonna have bad knees, feet, and ankles.
See Zion.
Yes.
Right? Okay. The difference to me, the bottom line takeaway difference between Joel Embiid and Jokic is Joel's got a mean streak in him.
Right.
And I mean it in a positive way. Right. It's that basketball killer in him. It's almost like the difference between Jordan and LeBron. LeBron's a nice guy to a fault. Jordan is not a nice guy, and it's why he was the coldest-blooded killer we've ever seen in sports.
Skip, this is almost like saying, okay, Shaq and Olajuwon, Embiid and Jokic, because they're totally different players. Olajuwon was more finesse. Olajuwon gonna hit you with that dream shake. He gonna fake you up under here, and he's gonna come up under the basket. That's how Jokic plays. Jokic doesn't have the power like a Joel Embiid to go through you. Shaq going through people. Shaq gonna get the ball. He gonna back you down, take that step. He gonna and boom. That's Joel Embiid. But Joel Embiid has the ability to go outside 15 feet, go outside 22 feet behind the three-point line. So it's just a matter of taste. But given a choice between Jokic and Embiid, as great as Embiid is playing, I'm still taking Nikola Jokic because he can give me the same amount of points, give me more rebounds, and he's going to get others involved.
I want the killer. I want the mean streak. I want the intangibles that guy has, because when the game's on the line and James Harden's on the bench because he fouled out, he just said, I got this. And then he went straight over to Drake and said, we are going to sweep you. And I believe they will, because that's who he is. And it doesn't matter, James or no James.
You know it's just a matter of time. Tom get upset. He might eat something in Toronto, and then all of a sudden, ooh.
As long as his feet don't get upset, we'll be okay.
Now, you know he's missed games with stomach issues. Only a baby have more stomach problems than Joel Embiid.
Well, he was still a baby then, and he grew up.
Now he was a baby.
Yeah, he was on pablum at that point.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.